What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about 2025 and Kingdom Hearts, and specifically kind of Kingdom Hearts 4, a little bit of hope. We got a lot to talk about in this video, but I am hopeful, and maybe it's just that time of year, the holidays and all that stuff, but I'll walk you through my thought process, and I don't know, just maybe an early 2025 prediction that I do think we'll see Kingdom Hearts 4 in 2025. That could be a reach, and it could easily be wrong, and, if you said it any of these past years, you'd also be wrong, right? But one of these years has to be the turnaround. Now, let's talk about Missing Link just really quickly, right? Because that's kind of the holdup. In my opinion, well, there's actually a couple things holding back Kingdom Hearts 4 in my mind, but Missing Link is one that you can probably pretty easily say, all right, if you're going to go and you're Square Enix and you're going to do interviews, you're going to show another trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4, right? You're going to do literally anything. I'm not even talking about releasing the game. I don't think the game comes out in 2025. That is Kingdom Hearts 4, okay? I don't think that happens, but even if you talk about it, which is something I think is possible, right? An interview with, say, IGN or Famitsu, or, doing a trailer or something, right? If you do that, Missing Link is really the first thing that probably pops up in your mind that puts a roadblock there, right? And says, okay, wait a second, you got to kind of go in order. And it does make sense. I've seen other people kind of theorize it to me even. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If you do a Kingdom Hearts 4 thing, anything that I just, talked about the last 30 seconds, you're really taking away eyes from Kingdom Hearts 4. And in all reality, Kingdom Hearts is a huge franchise, okay? But when it comes to Missing Link, I assume the primary player base is going to be people pretty invested into Kingdom Hearts. I don't know how many, maybe it's possible, but brand new people that are going to be breaking out their cell phones and, playing Missing Link. I don't know how many people are going to be doing that have never heard of the franchise before. There'll be some, but the majority is going to be people, again, that are interested, and also interested, ideally, in Kingdom Hearts 4, right? And again, that's the roadblock. If you do stuff with Kingdom Hearts 4, you take away eyes and you take away interest from Missing Link, which could already be in trouble, could already be, I don't even know what to say about Missing Link. It literally, as we always say, right? It's missing in action. So hopefully we get that, and hopefully we get that soon, because I think this roadblock and the worry about like splitting consumers, I think that could haunt it potentially the whole year, and we definitely do not need any more roadblocks in the Kingdom Hearts fandom. So get that freaking game out, okay? So that's just Missing Link. I hope we see it soon. I hope it's released soon, and we can kind of not to necessarily like shove it under the rug, because when it comes to Dark Road and all this stuff, like, they are important and they are cool. Like, the lore, I would say, that they introduce in these games are pretty neat, and they're more like deep. I was gonna say like in depth, right? They're deeper than a lot of even like the mainline Kingdom Hearts games. I would say, some of the mobile games are the ones that kind of go the most crazy with the lore and just all of these different names you have to remember and timelines. And it's probably the most in like all of Kingdom Hearts. So, okay, you have that. The other one I would say is kind of a twofold thing. The reason I feel optimistic, well, number one, it's been 3 years. It's going to be 3 years. So April of 2022, I remember waking, I think it was a Sunday. I woke up, and then, the Kingdom Hearts trailer is out there with that 20th anniversary and all that jazz. So it's been almost 3 years since we've seen, for the first time, and heard from Kingdom Hearts. Now, throughout 2022, there was a little talk, right? Nomura did some interviews, and it was kind of like a press tour of sorts. And really, towards the second half of the year is when that kind of all stopped. But it's approaching 3 years since we saw that trailer. I don't know. 3 years is an arbitrary number, right? You just throw it out. It means nothing. It means maybe the same as 2 years. It means maybe the same as 4 years, right? I could be back here next year telling you the same thing for the 4-year, anniversary of showing off the game. I just have to believe that eventually you're going to show something. And I mean, okay, that's obvious, but I guess my belief is that you don't let it go too long. My belief is that hopefully, because of Kingdom Hearts 3 and just also gaming in general, when you announce your game and then it's 3, 4, 5 years until you see it again, Kingdom Hearts 3 was kind of like the poster child for that, but besides maybe Beyond Good and Evil 2, right? But Kingdom Hearts 3 was almost like the originator of announcing a game too early. Now, we know about all the trouble there and all that jazz, and not the same thing now, but I just, all of that stuff I think adds up. At least it adds up in my head, and it means something. Maybe it doesn't mean anything to Square Enix, but that's that kind of hope that I have, at least, that they see the industry. They see what happened with Kingdom Hearts 3. I feel like 4 should be on like a steadier, development path. you shouldn't be going 4 or 5 years after. I picked those years on purpose, right? It should be now. It really probably should have been this past year, but say 3 years after you first show it, you show it again. This game should be like a 2026, maybe like end of 2026, early 27 game. Okay, I really believe that. I think we should be getting this game in the next 2 years. It's what makes sense. It's what's reasonable, I think, like in my head. Because also you think, right, early 27 is 8 years after Kingdom Hearts 3. Somehow we're living through this again. We just did this with Kingdom Hearts 3 for our whole lives, at least my whole life, and now we're doing it again for 4. So again, like that holds meaning to me. It might hold meaning to them, and I hope that gives them the confidence to. I'm not saying release in 2025. I'm saying give us an interview, right? Drop another trailer, drop a 2-minute trailer, show a couple things. I don't know, just show something or talk about it. Sometimes what Nomura says is actually sometimes equally as interesting as what he shows. So that would satisfy me as well. And I guess the final part, in terms of roadblocks, we talked about missing link. There's no other roadblocks. Now, maybe I'm too short-sighted and I can't see the roadblocks. You guys can let me know in the comments. But, no, honestly, the biggest one, in my opinion, would have been Final Fantasy, right? And I mean, specifically, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So, like, that was the game the last couple of years, And because it came out so early in 24, right, like end of February of 24, a lot of 23 was dedicated to Rebirth, and then going into 24, and then it does really well in terms of people's opinion on it. Doesn't do as well maybe in sales, but it in a way the talk of the town leading into it for sure. And then even when it came out, it had its run. It had its runs to the Game Awards. It won a couple things, and it's a game that you're talking about throughout the year. And I imagine that you don't want to overthrow it, right, with your other franchise. You don't want Kingdom Hearts 4 to just take it away and say, okay, well, let's forget about Final Fantasy. Now we got to move to Kingdom Hearts. I think people are able to balance things more than studios think they are, but here we are. So I don't know. To me, that's another one. That was a big roadblock that I get it. Same thing with Missing Link. Like, I understand why Missing Link technically should come first, right? And I get why Final Fantasy did what it did. And I understand why you wouldn't want to do more interviews with Nomura or anybody. You wouldn't want to do stuff, say, in all of 2023 because you're building up Final Fantasy. Now, the issue, though, is if Kingdom Hearts comes out in January of 27, or really any time in 27, that's very possibly the next release, the final of the trilogy of Final Fantasy VII. So I don't know how that's going to work going into the future, but it's the game that's had this longest drought right now as compared to Final Fantasy, right? And then it might come out before. Maybe they're planning on Kingdom Hearts being a fall 2026 game, and then Final Fantasy VII is a first half 27 game. You give it enough time to separate themselves. Either way, I think Kingdom Hearts should get priority, at least for now. Drop something, talk about it. Final Fantasy will have its time to shine in another year or so, right? But right now, I think it's Kingdom Hearts' time. So, I don't know. It's nothing tangible. It's not like we got an interview saying, yep, Kingdom Hearts stuff is coming. But I don't know. I have belief, and I just want to believe, that these games are eventually coming. Not just Kingdom Hearts, a lot of these games, they're eventually coming. We got to eventually get to a year where they talk about them. They're not just going to drop randomly. And yeah, they might be 2-3 years out. But when's that stop them before, showing things 2-3 years out? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.